Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Friday Gear Show. Today we're looking at all-day shoes. Climbing shoes designed to support you for long routes, perhaps in the big mountains, but ones that offer performance as well as comfort. So what is an all-day shoe? Well, it seems at the moment that climbing brands tend to be making their shoes more downturned and softer. And that suits boulderers and perhaps indoor climbers a bit more, but it isn't much good if your interests lie in long routes. Up in the mountains perhaps, I'm thinking El Capitan, Chamonix, or just a trad climb that goes on for a bit. You need a different type of shoe. So all the three models we've picked today have a flatter profile and they're fairly stiff. So that supports your foot on small footholds or big footholds and means your foot doesn't get as tired over a longer period of time. Now this top three isn't in any particular order and it's not a sponsored video. We've simply used our own impressions, your feedback and shop sales to make this list. And as I've got it in my hand, let's start with the 510 NIAD. NIAD stands for nose in a day, and that gives you an indication of the kind of climbing this shoe is designed for. It uses 510's legendary stealth rubber on the sole, and that's great at both smearing and edging. It's a flat sole and fairly stiff, especially when breaking them in, and this means they'll support your foot and help with fatigue. Although comfortable, it's high performing, with extended rubber sections on the toe for toe hooks. Comfort, of course, is key, and this has a lined microfiber inner. One thing to remember about 510 is they were bought by Adidas a couple of years ago and they changed the sizes a little bit. So if you bought this shoe back in the old 510 days, just make sure you check the new sizing for the Adidas version. Now I've worn both versions of the NIAD, the lace up, which I've got in my hand, and the Velcro, which is a different colour. In fact, we've done videos on this precise shoe. Which do I prefer? Well, certainly the lace up for longer routes. It kind of replaces that Anasazi pink that used to be a big favourite for a lot of people. So it's going to look and feel quite familiar to you more old school climbers out there. It's a very good shoe. That stealth rubber is fantastically sticky and I trust it, which is important. Okay, next up is the La Sportiva TC Pro. The La Sportiva TC Pro has an almost flat, stiff sole with Vibram XS Edge 2 on the bottom. This is a great rubber, especially when edging on small holds. The TC Pro is really stiff, and it's going to come as a bit of a shock to those not used to it. It is a little bit downturned, and the P3 technology built in will help to keep its shape. The ankle area has been extended with more material and padding to help protect the climber's ankles when they are climbing cracks. This is a shoe with its roots firmly in the big wall territory. It was designed by Tommy Caldwell and used by Alex Honnold for his famous free solo ascent of El Cap. So it's a shoe with some history and some pedigree in it. Let me warn you, this thing is very, very stiff, especially straight out of the box. And if you're used to something softer, then it's going to take you a while to get used to that feeling. But once you break it in and get used to it, you can stand on the tiniest little nubbins and it will support you. And I like that raised ankle area because if you're into crack climbing, you'll know that jamming your foot in, torquing your foot, that puts a lot of pressure on the ankles and you can end up with blood everywhere. That extra bit of protection really suits this shoe. Okay, so that's the TC Pro. Our final model is from Tanaya and it's the Maasai. Tanaya are famous for making high-performing yet incredibly comfortable shoes, so the Maasai fits well into the all-day category. This is another lace-up, an almost flat-soled model with Vibram XS Edge rubber, which is similar to XS Edge 2 in its performance. It's very precise on small edges and rounded holds or cracks, and it's one of the stiffest in the Tanaya range, but Tanaya aren't known for their ultra-stiff models, and this is softer than the TC Pro and NIAD. The insole is made from TXT treated cotton, as comfort is key for Tanaya and their entire range. The Maasai is a very capable shoe. In fact, it's so good you could climb hard red point sport with this, as well as those big walls or trad climbs or all-day climbs. Added to that fact, it's a bit softer than the other two models, especially out of the box, and that might suit some people and make that breaking in process a little bit easier. That added to Tanaya's legendary comfort on their performance shoes, and you can keep this thing on all day. It won't hurt your feet, it'll perform well, and I can't explain the Tanaya thing. If you know, you know. So which would I choose? It's difficult to pick with these. I mean, TC Pro, better for cracks, I think. So especially if perhaps you're American watching this, you climb a lot in Yosemite, that's the one for you. The Maasai is a high performer because of that little bit more softness in there. You can really put down the power on other routes that may be more overhanging. And then the 510 NIAD, well, it's a classic, isn't it? All-rounder, does everything, great rubber on the bottom, and certainly a fan climber's favorite. If you're interested in more information about the shoes or you want to buy them, there's a link down below to the Epic TV shop, and let me know in the comments what you think of the models we've chosen today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.